Hey everyone, this is CLRgaming. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. It's good to have you guys. By the time of me recording this, we're actually 60, so welcome to my 60 sub special. I wanted to do a little something to mark the occasion. I think it's important that we celebrate our successes. It's funny because I was looking to try and get some ideas for a 50 sub special, and while looking for that, I saw a lot of negativity. A lot of people are like, why would you celebrate that? That's so insignificant. It's so small. It's not worth doing something for. And I thought, wow, I would highly, highly, highly disagree with you. If anything, I would say that those first 50 are the most important, And this is my feeling towards it. If you don't appreciate the 50, you don't deserve the 100. You know what I mean? I say that they're the most important because, listen, I am not a YouTuber. My education is not in computer. So me editing and creating videos and working with editing software, working with microphones and sound equipment, I don't know any of this. So my videos, especially the first ones, have been really rough. My audio was off. My editing cuts were horrible. Yet, you guys, those 50, saw something in me and said, you know what? Yeah, her audio's kind of crappy and, oh, her editing skills, ugh. But I'm still going to take a chance on her. And for me, that means so much. So I do want to do something to celebrate the occasion. I want to let you know that I appreciate y'all. I see you. I see my lurkers. I see the people who comment. You motivate me. And every day we're getting better and better. And this is not just my channel. This is our channel. But I did just want to do like a quick little introduction. It has to be weird, right? All of a sudden, some crazy lady comes on YouTube and now she's posting videos. And what is she? Who is she? What is it about? I mean, she's the greatest gamer ever. She's hilarious. Those things you already know. But who is CLRgaming? It's a little weird because I'm not saying my name, but I guess I kind of am. So I'm CLR. Why did I pick CLRgaming as my gamer tag? Well, it's because calcium, lime, and rust remover is by far the greatest cleaning product I have ever used. It can get hard water stains out of any surface. And it's about time it gets recognized, I had to. Don't get mad at me. Don't cringe. No, it's obviously my initials and gaming because I am a creative person. I actually started that YouTube channel quite a whiles back with that name, and I like it. As I alluded to earlier, my education is not in computers. I wish. But I did go to school. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in nursing. I worked as a registered nurse in the emergency room for nearly a decade. I absolutely loved it. If there was any thought on your end if she was a little crazy, she is. You have to be to work in the emergency room. For about 95% of that time, I worked nights. People do stupid things at all hours of the day, but they do really stupid things at night. So I have a bunch of stories and experiences to share along the way. Maybe we'll get into that little by little. So I did that for nearly a decade. I love it. I miss it dearly. I guess I'll share the story of how we got here. What happened to nursing. I was healthy. My biggest medical issue was endometriosis. Endometriosis, bless you. No, I know a good majority of the people who watch are males. But I do have some female subscribers, some females who watch. And if you have that disease, or guys, if you have a mother or sister or girlfriend, wife that have it, show them some love because it truly is a painful disease. It is a isolating, frustrating, depressing one. So if you know someone going through it, or if you yourself are going through it, all I have to say is hang in there, Don't give up. There is hope. It gets better. And not just for women, but for anyone. Be your own advocate, especially when it comes to medical problems. Stand up for yourself. healthcare professionals don't know everything. The good ones are trying their hardest, so stand up for yourself. If you feel something's wrong, if you feel, that this is not working or there's something better, advocate for yourself and don't give up. It's okay to get second, third, fourth, fifth opinion. So that was the only medical problem I had, and I had gotten that taken care of, so I was on top of the world, guys. I was no longer in pain. I was no longer throwing up every day. It was great. And then one day after work, it was 3 a.m. I had gotten home. I had gone to eat a Mentos. It was a tropical flavored Mentos. As soon as it hit my mouth, I knew something was wrong, and I ended up having an allergic reaction to it. I drove myself to the same ER that I worked at, and the allergic reaction turned into anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis is a super bad allergic reaction where your airways start shutting down, your whole body starts shutting down. So I ended up getting intubated, where they put a breathing tube down your throat, and I was in a medically induced coma for 3 days. It was crazy because that's the first thing anything like that had happened. When I came through and recovered from that, I had this new lease on life. I applied to nurse practitioner school and I got accepted. So I started that. I had started this new job. But after that reaction, my health started going down, started deteriorating. I started getting really bad asthma. I started having multiple allergic reactions. I had been intubated a few times, and my health just kind of deteriorated from there. It was one thing after another, to the point where I couldn't work anymore. I had to quit nurse practitioner school, things like that. The most recent issue was in 2019, the end of 2019, 2020. My mother rushed me to the emergency room early in the morning. I couldn't breathe. We were worried that we were going to have to be intubated again, but I actually ended up pulling through. I got admitted and spent the night, and the next morning the doctor came in and told me, "Hey, you're looking better. Let's discharge you." And usually I am raring to go. I'm chomping at the bit to go home. But that day I couldn't tell you what was wrong. I just didn't feel right. I felt like something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. Like I said earlier about being your own advocate, I said it. I voiced how I was feeling, and thank God I had a doctor that was compassionate and listening, because I told him, usually I'm ready to go home. I just don't feel right, and I could not tell him why. And he said, "You know what? Let's not rush it. Let's keep an eye on you a little longer. We can discharge you tonight or tomorrow morning." So I was like, okay. And I felt kind of silly. I was like, maybe I should have just gone home. Well, it turns out I crashed that night. So thank God I hadn't gone home. I crashed. I ended up having to be intubated again. I got really sick. I became septic. There's an infection that goes into your bloodstream. I had pneumonia. I was in a coma for 10 days, and I nearly died. I was very close to death. It was quite the ordeal. It's taken a long time for my body to recover. I'm trying to keep it together. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, that one was really hard. It took a big toll on my body. It's taken these past few years for me to recover fully. Physically and mentally, we're still recovering. But this is the healthiest I've been in a long time. And each day is better. Each day gets better. So throughout those struggles, YouTube has always been a place that I can go to. I've always been a gamer. I was a gamer before it was cool to be a gamer, especially a female gamer. Forget it, that was definitely frowned upon back in the day. You'd go to birthday parties and the girls would be playing Barbies and the guys would be playing video games, and I would always try to be sneaking to play the video games because those were way better. So yeah, I've always been a gamer. Once a gamer, always a gamer. So I'd be wanting to game, but when you're in the hospital, you don't have that access, or if I'm just too weak to play, I can put a YouTube video on, watch someone play, have some laughs, and forget about your own personal situation for a few minutes. And I always thought that was cool, and if I ever had the opportunity, I would love to try it. So fellow Sim asked me, why did you start streaming? It's something that I had always thought of in the back of my mind. It was something I would always think of. And there was always something, right? I think things work out the way they're supposed to, when they're supposed to. Our internet was really bad. It was almost non-existent. I just recently got a computer that could handle it before I was playing off a laptop. And my mind is in a place where I feel I could do it. YouTube is a lot of work, guys, and I was never under the impression that it was easy. I knew the amount of work and time it was going to take especially if you want it to be successful. And I do. I knew that my body just wasn't ready for that, but now it is. Now it is. And if anything, I guess the corny thing is I just wanted to give back to a community that has given me so much, you know, especially the gaming community on YouTube. People like Neebs Gaming or Etho, Northern Lion. I mean, the list goes on. Glock. And I know there's so many I'm forgetting. But those are the kind of communities that I could go to. So that's why I started this channel. And that's kind of my motive behind it, is just, I want this to be a safe place. I want this to be a positive place. Life is hard, man. Everyone has their stories. Everyone is going through stuff. And it's insane what a video can do. It's insane what a 20-30 minute video can do. How you can start laughing again when you hadn't laughed in a while. Or you can backseat game someone, be like, oh my God, what an idiot. If I was doing it, I would do this, you know? So yeah, that's the goal behind my channel, just to give back. And like I said earlier, this is not my channel, this is our channel. And I want us to build it together, build it up together. Am I the best gamer? Well, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. No, I'm not. Yeah, if you're coming here for the perfect playthrough, that's not what this channel is about. This is about a woman trying her hardest and succeeding somewhat and failing a lot. But that's the fun part, right? You get to see somebody that's not perfect in any way. But that's the fun part, right? Or that's the cool part. You get to see somebody who's just like your average Joe. Is not a god at all the games, you know. Is someone who's learning and getting better and growing, and you get to see that. So that's who CLR is in a nutshell. There's a lot more, but this is the 50 subscriber special. Maybe we'll get more in the 100. I guess there's some silly ones, like what's my favorite color? It's cyan. Don't ask me what my favorite game is, because I just can't tell you. I can't do it. Like I said, I've been gaming for a long time, since my dad bought me the Nintendo back in the day. I've been hooked. Life's too short to have just a favorite. I really don't know what else to say. I'm sure there's a bunch. I know there's a lot that can be said, other questions that can be answered. And you guys let me know. Like I said, we'll do this again when there's 100. I'm going to acknowledge the accomplishments because they mean a lot. And you should do that too in your life, you know? I mean, you got to take notice of the small things and appreciate them and acknowledge them and keep pushing forward. Some days, the best you can do during a day is get out of bed. Acknowledge that. And don't be so hard on yourself, you know? Acknowledge that you got out of bed today. That's a huge thing. That's a huge milestone. And then the next day you acknowledge something else and something else. I'm going to use this video for people who are new here. When they come to the channel, they'll see this. Yes, it's a gaming channel, but gaming is like secondary in my mind. It's about having a good time. It's about laughing. It's about being a distraction from some of life's heavy things. So if this is the last video of mine you see, 2 pieces of advice, and then I'll let you guys go. 1, tell the people you love them as often as you can. This life is crazy. You're here one minute and gone the next. So if there's someone that you care about, that you love, if it's your family and you haven't, hey, I haven't texted dad in a while, or I haven't called my mom in a while, just do it. Tell them that, and tell them as often as you can, you know? That saying, don't go to bed angry. Don't go to bed angry. Don't go to the next room angry. You will not believe how many patients I've taken care of, or patients' families who just, if I wanted to say one more thing, if I could do one more thing. And one of the final things that went through my mind when I was trying to check out of this life, when I was dying in my bed, was what was the last thing I said to my family? What was the last text that I sent them? And thankfully for me, it was, I love you, I care about you, I'm proud of you. And I cannot tell you the peace that brought me. I cannot imagine being in that same situation and the last things I've said would have been ugly. I don't know how I would have handled it, because guess what? You're dying. There is no fixing that. There is no changing that. So the amount of peace that brought me. So I would urge you to do that. And the second thing is, don't get so busy living life that you forget to live it. That's a CLR quote. We get so busy with life. It's kind of like Have you ever driven home and you get behind the wheel and then it's just kind of an autopilot, and before you know it, you're at home and you're like, how the hell did I get here? We can do that in life. Like, it becomes the same old routines, the same old la-di-la-di-da, and you're just kind of autopiloting life. And I'd urge you with everything I have to not do that, to try and be present. I know life is hard. I get it. And then we get so busy. I gotta do this, I gotta go to work, I gotta do groceries, I gotta da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Before you know it, you're gonna look up, and just like when you're driving home from work, you're gonna be home. You're gonna be at life's end, and you're gonna be like, what happened? Where did it go? And I'd urge you to slow down every now and then, to stop. How many of you stop and look up? What is your favorite thing in life? And I'm not talking about people. Like, what's your one favorite thing in this world? For me, it's clouds. And I cannot tell you, especially before when I was working, how I just had my nose to the ground and was going. Sometimes you gotta stop and look up and just appreciate the clouds, man. And I know it might sound corny and be like, man, I didn't come here for this. I came here for a gaming channel. Yeah, gaming's there, and we're gonna do gaming. There'll be plenty of games. Your girl's gonna fail a bunch. But I'm worried about you. I'm worried about you because I don't want you to have to go through some of the crap I've gone through before you realize it. If you can get some of this now, call it a win, man. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. That's who CLRgaming is in a nutshell. Well, that's who CLR is. CLRgaming is another entity altogether. But yeah. So we'll do another video at 100. Hopefully I'll get more questions then, or we'll come up with something. We're gonna appreciate each milestone, and we're gonna enjoy the ride. The subscribers will come. I have faith in that. But I'm going to enjoy the ride. We're here now making silly videos. I'm working hard to fix the videos, to make them better. Trying to figure out how to get the key clicking in the background off. So you've been patient with me. You've shown me love and support. And my God, I feel it. Okay? This video, I'm going to wrap it up. The background video is me working on our War of the Walkers base. I am in creative and I am fixing it up. I believe it was it Ken Jans? Forgive me if I misquoted, but I believe it was Ken Jans who suggested doing this 7,000 night horde with it. So that's what I'm planning. So in the background, that's what's playing. I am not going to show you the finished product because I want to surprise you. I'm working on the base and the horde base. It's looking really good. And next Monday will be the finale. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. I appreciate y'all watching. You have a good one. You stay safe. And until the next time, bye.